Today I'm going to the dark side. Rob Lucci. I'm working for the government today playing Rob Lucci. This is a deck I personally hate. It is my most hated deck list out of all of One Piece tier lists. This is at the F tier. I hate it. I wish it was gone. This is ran by one of my friends at Locals and he always beats me. That's probably why. But this deck list is actually really strong, especially in the current format in EB02. It really helps against Green Purple Luffy and a lot of other current meta deck lists. So I'm excited to play it for you guys today. Remove our opponent's whole board every single turn and just show you the extreme power of Rob Lucci. As always, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and let's get to the deck profile. If you don't know what Rob Lucci does, it just says, when attacking, you may trash the top 2 cards of your deck. Give up to one of your opponent's characters -1 cost for the turn. It doesn't sound that strong or destructive, but with the package that we run of Rebecca, Brook, Laboon, Kuzan, Lucci, it's just way too oppressive. So I'm excited to bring you this deck list today. It's based off of the one that I usually play at Locals. I don't know his exact deck list, especially even to this day, but I know he doesn't run the Kuzans, but a lot of people are nowadays. And one of my other friends who plays Lucci from Locals, he does run the Kuzans. And I have not seen the other guy run the Kuzan. So we're kind of going off of what we think it's built off of. We're going to play around with it and see if we can kind of tweak it to kind of meet the standards of my local players, because they are very, very competitive and very good players. So the deck list that starts with Spandine. I think you need Spandine in the current format, especially when you run it with Rebecca. It's just so strong, returning 3 CP type characters to the trash, and then play 1 cost 4 a lower CP type character, being Lucci or Khalifa on average. Now you can, run other options for CP, but usually these are always your best targets, because this KOs 2 characters, 1 2 cost and 1 1 cost, and this draw 2's trash 2 and give one of your opponents -2 cost. So this is an extra thing that we can use, early game to get extra cost minus if we're not able to develop our Uta, Hina, Kuzan, Tashigi, One-Legged Soldier, Laboon, like so many options to give cost minus. But if we can't, you can actually combo the Spandine. I've seen it happen in person, in my face, and it hurts. Now, Brook is going to be an amazing option. You already know what this does. Give -1 KOs a 1 cost or a 0 cost character on the board. Laboon, gives -4 to a character. Kuzan, draws a card and gives -4 to a character. This Kuzan, you may not know unless you've been playing for a very long time, because not a lot of people have ran it until the current format that gives all of your opponent's characters -5 cost, and then KOs one of your opponent's 0 cost characters. So it KOs a 5 cost when on play, and then you can, combo it with Brook to KO any 5 cost or 6 cost character on the board, actually. So it's very, very strong in the current format, removing very big bodies. Now, we've already gone over Khalifa, but we are playing Sabo. Sabo's mainly for the mirror match as far as I'm able to understand it, because it has the ability that it's a blocker, and then on KO or on play, your characters cannot be KO'd by effects until the start of your next turn, and then draw 2, trash 2. Very, very strong, especially in a mirror match or a removal-based matchup. Now, activate main once per turn. You may give one of your opponent's characters -3, trash this character. It's just a -3 on the board, mainly a 2K counter, but when you need an additional cost minus, it's always there as an option. Run Moncherie, which taps 1 Dawn, rest this card, return 2 cards from your trash to the bottom of your deck, and then return 1 cost 3 to 5 black character to your hand, usually being Rebecca, Spandine, Lucci, Laboon, all of these amazing targets. Usually it's one of these few options, but there's always other options. Like if you don't find Rebecca, you can just add the Spandine. If you can find Rebecca, you just grab Rebecca, play Spandine into Lucci, do the whole combo as we know it. So very strong cards right there. You know what Rebecca does at this point. Returns a black card with a cost of 3 or 7 to your hand, and then plays a cost 3 or lower black type character. And then Rob Lucci KOs 2 characters have already been over. We run 3 of the Jack. We may run 4 in the future. I honestly don't know how many they have in their deck list, so I didn't want to overdo it, but I think 3 is fine for now. This character has +4 cost, draw 1, trash 1, KO one of your opponent's characters with a 3 cost or lower, and you have to rest this card as the cost, which is literally nothing because it is an 8K body on the board, so we're fine with that. We have the 3 cost Tashigi. This is for the Blackbeard matchup, because the only way you can really give cost minus is using this and Brook, because you don't have on plays, which we usually lose that matchup, but we'll just have to see in the format if we do or not. And we may take one on today, we may not. It depends on what we actually see on the sim, because not a lot of people are playing Teach, because it's such a difficult deck to pilot, and it's not the best format for it because of Green Purple Luffy. We run Hina, which just gives one of your opponent's characters -4 cost for the turn. A very strong option, and is a 3/5 that we can play off of Rebecca. So we can tap 4 for Rebecca, play Hina, tap 3 for Brook, KO a 5 cost character, which is very, very strong, especially on a 7 Dawn turn, very early in the game. Uta is a spicy pick that not a lot of people are using, and you don't see it enough, and I think it's one of the strongest cards in the format. Activate main, you may rest this card, give up to one of your opponent's characters -2 cost during the turn, so it also has the secondary ability, which is always active. This character cannot be KO'd when battling against a leader, so basically if we can remove their board every turn by using this to give cost minus, and they don't have rush options, then they just can't KO Uta, so it's a -2 every single turn. So much stronger than Tashigi. The Tashigi's really just in there for the 2k counter. And then to finish it off, of course, we're running 4 Tempest Kick. Activate main, draw 1 card. After this, if your trash has 10 or more cards, which we always mill 2 cards with our leader effect, and we have a lot of counter and cards that go into the trash. That's our whole goal. Give up to one of your opponent's characters -3 cost. And then a trigger of KOing one of your opponent's cost 3 or lower characters, which can definitely come into play, especially hitting a 3 cost, which is very strong. I mean, it pops Zoro, it pops Lilith, like so many 3 cost options. It pops the Nico Robin blockers. It does so much. So just the trigger alone is already amazing. And then drawing a card replacing itself and giving -3 is insane. So Tempest Kick, amazing card, especially in a Rob Lucci deck list. That's going to be our quick little deck profile. As always, like, subscribe, join the One Piece family, push the algorithm for me, because liking, commenting, all of that really helps me out and helps grow the channel. We've already hit 1,300 and so subs, so thank you guys so much for the support. Continue on, and let's get into some games. So we're going to start in the green Purple Luffy matchup. I actually don't know which curve we want to take from our opponent, because usually we want the second curve, but I feel like they want the first. But I think we'll take second anyways. I think it's just stronger for us, and we don't have any removal here, but we have a lot of great cost minus. So with us going second, I think we're going to keep this and be a little greedy, because all we need is 1 character to KO cards, and we're in a really good spot. So we do get the 10 cost Kuzan here. We're going to play down the 2 cost Uta and pass. They're down to 3 Dawn here. They can have pseudo rush with the Zoro, but we have to have 2 characters on the board for it to have that pseudo rush, so they can't just rest down Uta and KO it. So we're in a really good spot. They're going to play when you're at sea, you fight pirates, look at the top 3, grab a Straw Hat Crew type character, and swing in for 7 aggressively, which we will take. We're still searching for that option, and boom, bam, bop, we just got it. We don't stop. I think we're going to start with swinging in for 5 at our opponent here. We could go in for 6, but I think we may have a lot of cost minus. I don't know if we need Tempest Kick, to be honest. I don't know if we need Tempest Kick, to be honest. So we could go actually play it on Laboon next turn, get more cost minus, guarantee the KO. Yeah, it's gonna be better. Okay, so we're gonna swing in for 5, use the card action, choose no targets, put 2 cards in trash. We do put a Brook in trash, play down Laboon and pass. So now if they play down Sanji Pudding, even if they make it a 7 cost, we have -2, -4, and then we play Brook, and then KO their character on curve. So that's gonna be perfect for what we're trying to do here. So we'll be able to remove their board. That's gonna be the goal of this deck every single turn that we can. So even though it's a 7 cost with the Going Merry stage, we have 4, 2, and then 1. So that gets rid of it just perfect. The leader effect doesn't even matter at this point. So now they choose to swing in for 8. We're going to take that as well, adding a very large hand size to our hand. And now we could actually technically rob Lucci, but I don't think Rob Lucci's the play right now. I think we're better off just going -4, -2. So now it's -4. Now do we play out Rebecca into Brook from trash and keep the Brook in hand? And then swing in for 7 at our opponent? We could Tempest Kick now, but I don't even think that's worth it. I think actually we will Tempest Kick just to draw another card, decide what we want to do. We grab a Kuzan, we don't need that, so we're just going to swing in for 6 at our opponent. Use it, trash, just to put more cards in the trash. We have the Brook in trash, we now have a Rebecca in trash too, which kind of sucks, but now we can play this, return, Brook to hand, play out Brook, KO Sanji Pudding, and pass. So we have the blocker to save the Laboon as well. I think that was the best part of that developing turn. And now our opponent's on 6 Dawn, so they play a pseudo or a rush Luffy, but they choose not to. And now they're going to search the top of the deck, top 4 cards. They grab down a Roronoa Zoro, which will be able to tap down a Rebecca here, and they can return 2 Dawn. It's going to be very strong for our opponent now that they can remove some more of our board. They should swing the Zoro into the Uta to remove it, but we have 3k counter in hand, so it's not horrible for us, but I don't think we need to worry about it too much. If they do want to remove the board, if they want to remove Laboon, I think we'll have to counter out. It depends on if they use their leader effect or not and how heavy they swing, so we'll have to decide. They do return the 2 Dawn, restand 2 Dawn, so they have 3 total Dawn, a 6k leader, so they can go 7/7 into Laboon, and I think we will just let that go at that point. They could also just go 6 into Brook. They're gonna go 7 into Laboon, yep. So I think we let Laboon go here. Not too much to do. We're going into 8 Dawn, so we should be safe. They add 2 costs to the Zoro. The Zoro can swing in very aggressively. Looks like they're gonna swing Uta. We're gonna have to let that go as well, sadly. So we're losing some of our cost minus on the board, but we still have Hina. Hina's gonna be a very good option. We can also swing into the board to continue just taking their resources. We also have Lucci, so what we could do here is totally ignore the board, because we could play down Lucci. That would KO Zoro, because if we swing in with Brook, So we go Lucci, pop both of these characters. Well, this is actually a, okay, so we're gonna have to Hina, make this a 2 cost. So that's 3, 4. So we could Rebecca Hina. Let's just swing 5 into Zoro, give -1 cost to the Zoro, add more cards to our trash. I don't know if this is the perfect way to do this or not. I don't honestly know, but I think once we can get the Kuzan next turn and we keep our Brook active, this is gonna be the best opportunity here to have 2 blockers on the board. Because Rebecca into Hina, return to Shigi to hand or Laboon. We'll go Laboon to hand because we can reuse it. Yeah, I like that a lot. Or we can play the Hina out of trash, but I don't think that's the best. I think I'd rather have the Laboon in hand for the guaranteed cost minus when we need it. So our opponent's trying to decide because they know we can probably remove this character, but we can really, you know, hey, now that they did that, we'll just play down Kuzan to draw a card and then play down, I think we just played on Lucci at that point. Save the Hina for later, save the Rebecca for later. We'll go ahead and use the card action. We'll return a Tempest Kick, and we'll return one of the whales and just pop the Nami because we can. Like, we might as well. I don't want to swing the Brook, so we'll just pass there. And now we have a very strong board. We have the Kuzan to give more minus, so even if they play something huge, which they can't in this situation, but even if they do add the 2 costs to the 6 cost Luffy, we'll just give it -4 and then use the Kuzan. They played on Zoro instead. We know we're tapping down for 10 for this just because this is going to be such a strong option on curve here against Green Purple Luffy. I think this is the main reason we play this card. So we'll have to swing in with leader first just to give this a -1 cost because it will get +2. And then our opponent's gonna have to decide. They choose to swing in for 7. And I think we'll go ahead and I think we can actually just take. Yeah, let's just take. And our opponent just quits because they were gonna be in a very bad spot. So GG's to Green Purple Luffy. You can see how this deck just dominates it even from a not pro player. Because we were just gonna swing in with Kuzan. No, we're gonna swing in with Lucci for 5. They weren't gonna leader effect that turn, as you can tell. We give it -1. It would become a 5 cost. Then we tap 10 for Kuzan, put Kuzan on the board, KO it. Next turn we can Kuzan again if we need to. KO any character on the board because it's going to have -5 from the other Kuzan and then -5 from the other Kuzan. And we have 2 10k bodies on the board, so it's going to be really strong. GG's to our opponent. On to the next match. You can see how miserable this makes people feel. They just quit early, so I love Rob Lucci, but I hate Rob Lucci. I guess we're going to take on Doflamingo today. Not something I expected to say, but hey, I'm okay with it. We'll take first away from our opponent. We have nothing to do on our curve, so we'll get rid of that. We get a Brook at least, so that'll be something. Something's always better than nothing here, but they could easily remove our board, usually. So they're going to be able to tap out for 2 Total Dawn, probably a Sengoku, and then a Perona right after. Maybe a 1-cost Buggy, depending on the build they have and how many they're still playing. I don't know how many Peronas they're still playing, so it looks like Buggy instead. They're grabbing Trafalgar Law. Trafalgar Law is going to be very good, but we're going to be able to remove one of their bodies. So we're going to go and swing in for 5 at our opponent, use the card action, putting cards in our trash, a Tashigi and a Lucci. That's totally okay with us, especially with the hand that we have. We'll go and remove the Sengoku from the board so they can't continue to draw cards. That's going to be a lot stronger than them being able to stack the top 3. They're going to play swing in for 5. They're going to play Law. Ooh, maybe they're going to play down Teach here. Teach would be a very good option for our opponent, but we would remove that pretty easily here. We can either Lucci on the next turn, or we can Brook again, or we can Rebecca into Brook, return Lucci to hand, or Tashigi to hand. They go 7, cheat out Law. So they found another Law. They get to push back our character. We'll take, no trigger. We now have 2 Brooks. So 2 Brooks is going to be better than no Brooks. So we're going to swing in for, we don't have a 1-cost character. We don't even play Suru anymore, which is really interesting. Suru being a very great option here. We could go in for 5 at the character, and then we could One-Legged Soldier, but I think it's not going to work. I don't really see a line to KO both bodies this turn, so I think we're just going to go 7 into Law, because we don't have a 1-cost in Lucci. We need to make this into a 2, so I guess we're going to go 7 into Law, trash 2 cards from the trash, and give -1 to Law. It's going to be a Sabo and a Kuzan. No characters we really need in the trash right now, so we force our opponent to counter out very aggressively, and then we'll go ahead and tap out for 3 and just remove a Perona so they have less 1-cost on the board. Next turn we can actually One-Legged Soldier and Lucci. If we get a Spandine in trash, we can Rebecca, Spandine, Lucci, and One-Legged Soldier. Our opponent swings in for 5 here. We will have to counter out with this swing, sadly. We'll go and give them a Sabo because they don't have much KO abilities anyways. I don't think they have any. They do have bottom decking, so they could have Gravity Blade here. Swinging for another 5, so it looks like they're going to play a 6-cost here, or they could play out 2 1-cost and another Law, bounce, or bounce and bounce Brook. I think we will go ahead and take this 5k just to add to our hand size. We have 7 cards. They could pudding here, but I don't think I'm worried about pudding. They Jozu instead. So now we need a way to remove Jozu off the board, which would be Hina Lucci. I think it's going to be the best option. We could Hina -4, Lucci -1, and then we could Rebecca Brook. actually does not sound like a bad option. Hina, Rebecca, Brooke. We could Rebecca, Hina, and then play out Brooke. So we're just gonna swing in for 5 at our opponent. Use the card action, -1. We get an Uta in the trash, which is not too great, but not too bad. So Rebecca into Hina, that goes -4, and then we just play out Brooke. Yep. So Rebecca, return Tashigi to hand, play out Hina, because it's a 5k rather than the 4, and then we play out Brooke and remove Jozu and pass. So at least we cleared up the board very well. They may have 7 cards in hand. We also have 7 cards in hand. We need to counter out this next swing more than likely. The 2 2k counters, we want to keep all 3 of these characters in hand, possibly get rid of the Brooke because we do have another Rebecca here. So there's definitely a lot of options. We could go 2-1 in case they swing in for 7. They have 8 total Dawn, so I'm really not worried about what they do. We can easily go into Jack as well. They play Gravity Blade, removing both of our bodies. They swing in for 6, and we go ahead and counter out of this pretty aggressively because we can. And then I think because of what they did, we're going to swing in for 5, 7, or should we do 6? About the same either way. I think we go in for 5 first because we definitely don't need Hina at the moment because we can always Rebecca to get her back. I think we are going to go for the Jack play here. So we are going to go in for 7. We could also One-Legged Soldier to save for later in case they go Jozu. But then they just bounce One-Legged Soldier, right? So I guess that doesn't really matter to develop it now. We're going to be better off trashing cards at the top. Our opponent just quits. I'm telling you, dude, this people just makes people quit. I can't help it. I can't help it because they know we're going to swing in for that, and then we're going to Jack. We could also Rebecca into Brooke into Lucci just to have multiple bodies on the board, but I don't think that would be the best. I think just going for Jack there because then this is removal every single turn with our leader effects. They only play 4 cost, and then we have Lucci and Brooke and Rebecca all in hand for later, and we still have 5k counter, and we can add a card back with the Rebecca, add a 2k back to hand like the Khalifa, and go from there because we just play the Brooke out of hand. So GG's to our opponent again. Lucci is just on top. I don't want people saying that we're only playing the best matchups here, so we're gonna mulligan that hand, and we're gonna keep this hand and pass early. We don't have a 1-Dom play. We're gonna take on Enel. This is about a 50-50 matchup, a little in Enel's favor for an average player. For good players, I think it's a little in Lucci's favor. I think it's really just all about what you draw on the resources late game. We don't really have an early play is the only issue. So we could go ahead and drop Manchuri, but then they just get rid of it pretty easily with like a Hitatsu. Anything at all, really. And I don't know if we really swing in. It's hard to say here. I think we definitely swing in just to fill up our trash. So we'll just go 8 in the face, use the card action, -1. We do get a Hina and a Whale in trash, so that's definitely not bad. They get a Brûlé blocker. We can remove both of these characters pretty easily if we get a Lucci, or get a Lucci in trash because we can Spandine Lucci. We just need enough CP characters for Spandam because it specifically needs 3 of these. They swing in for 6 at us. We're going to go ahead and take aggressively. We find our Lucci. So we could just Lucci because it just takes 3 cards in trash. We give -1. Are we worried about X-Drake? We don't really have a way to minus both right now. That's my only worry. So they could rest down our 4 cost or lower. We don't really have a 5 cost to play. We could go, we don't have a 2 cost either to go Spandine Lucci. I don't think Rebecca's a great option because of Drake. So maybe Kuzan is the best option right now. We can't Manchuri and then add back the Whale because we don't have enough cards in trash. Minus down the Brûlé to get another Brûlé. That's really obnoxious. I think we're just going to Kuzan and pass. I don't think it's good to play down Manchuri. It would get us no value, especially if they use the Drake. And now we at least have some cards in trash. They rest down the Kuzan, and they may swing in aggressively at it. And I think we can counter out of that pretty easily here with Spandam, Spandine, and Khalifa. If they go 7 and then play down to 4 cost. Now if they want to swing 11, that's fine. You got it. You got it. We're going to swing... Now we have a little bit more options because we're on 7. So I think we're going to swing 5 into X-Drake, go -1 on a Brûlé. I don't think it matters. They just give us the Brûlé that we use. And then let's look at the trash. We do have a Brook now. So we could 4... This may be a little bit of a waste, but we're going to drop 4, return Brook, play out a Hina, -4, and then play out Brook to KO the Drake, and then pass. So we just don't have enough cost minus right now for this matchup. We could have also just jacked. We could have literally just played Jack. I think that would have definitely been a better option, if I'm honest with you guys, now that I see that we have Jack in hand, using a lot less resources and saving our Hinas for later. We don't have a Rebecca. We'll put Spandine in trash just so we have it to play out Lucci later on. We do have a Lucci in trash, so that's okay. I don't mind them gaining life. I play out Kid, rest it down, and KO our character. Do we have any cost minus? Well, now we get the Rebecca off the top, which is kind of bad for us. How many CP cards do we have? 1, 2, 3. We don't have enough. Let's go Rebecca, Spandine, Khalifa. Rebecca, Spandine, Khalifa gives -2 to this. 5 makes this a 5. So it'd have to be, we're on 9. So that'd be 4, 4, 2. That doesn't work. So we need 10. So we could just play out Jack. I'm not against playing out Jack here. Draw 1, trash 1. We're gonna trash Khalifa to put more of those in the trash. And then we're gonna swing in for, I think we're gonna go and pop the Shirahoshi so that they don't get their, because they're gonna take this attack, if I am correct. And then we're gonna force them into gaining another life here and just getting rid of the blocker so we don't have to deal with it later. Wow, that's wild. Okay, I guess we're gonna Moncherie. Do we need any of these really back in hand? We could go for a Laboon here to have more cost minus for later. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Let's go for a Laboon. So we'll return Sabo. How many is it? Return 2 and then add 1. So Kuzan and then add back Laboon to hand and then pass. Yeah, we just pass at that point. We still have a blocker on the board, so they can't just swing heavy into Jack. We do have Laboon to give cost minus. A 10-drop Kuzan definitely wouldn't be bad right now, just to go ahead and have it. If we would have had the Brook to KO the Shirahoshi, that would have been really good because it would have forced them into the 2 life and remove the Shirahoshi now, so they don't get value out of this 10-drop ace they're about to play. So they're going to go 9 into Jack. We'll give them a 2k counter. They're going to go 5 in a face. I think we just take. I'm going to be honest. I think we just take here, and then we block out of whatever else. So we counter out of the 9, and then we block out of the 10. Okay, so we block out of the 9, and then we take the 10 if they swing 10 into face, because I don't want to take 9 into face. 12 into Jack. Kind of miserable, but we will counter out of this. So this is 10, so this is -4. Okay, so we need some very specific math here. We need to make this into a 3 cost. So -4, -4, -7, that does it right away, but we lose a lot of cards in hand. -4, 4, 4, and we still have 2. So it could be 4, 1, that makes it 5. 1, 1, 4, that's 6. We need 1 more, that's miserable. So I think we go, is there a way to remove both with Lucci? I don't think so with how big these characters are. Let's go ahead and give -4 to Enel here. Let's tap 4. Should we Moncherie? I think we should Moncherie here. Rest it down, return Lucci, no. Rebecca, Khalifa, and add 2k counter Khalifa back to hand. Just have more counter. Just because we're about to replace the Moncherie, I guess we'll go ahead and swing in for, I don't think it's worth swinging in even. I guess we'll swing in because we can go a few 5s here, so it forces our opponent to counter out 1k. And then what, 5? Okay, so we're gonna go 5 with leader first, give -1 to Shirahoshi. We're gonna go and pop the Shirahoshi here. We're gonna go and use the Shirahoshi, which is fine with me. So now we know we're not gonna swing again. We're gonna tap out for 4, replace Hina to play out Hina over Moncherie. Give -4 more. We're gonna draw 1, trash 1, and then KO the Enel. And the kid's still on the board, but we have a blocker at least, and 1 active Dawn. Not that 1 active Dawn does anything. We have 6k counter. I think that's just the best for the situation. We're gonna go 5 into our character here. We're gonna go ahead and give them a 2k counter to Shigi. I'd rather keep the 1-legged soldier just because we can more cost minus. Block out of this attack, and they may be able to remove it with this 10. Yep, so they're gonna go 12, gain a life. Not too much we can do about that situation. So 1-legged soldier, 1-legged soldier, Lucci, Brook. We can definitely clear it out. That's the thing. But we don't go for lethal then. And they're not really losing resources here. -1, -2, 8. So we need to go -5 more, which would be 1-legged soldier and Khalifa, and then play out Lucci. So 2, 4, 10. So I guess we just go for KOing Kid, but then Enel gets so much value over time. I think we need to remove the Enel. We'll go 5 in a face and just decide then. So they do counter out. Kuzan would have been nice. Draw 2, trash 2. That Kuzan would have been nice too. -2 to Enel. Tap 2, trash, give -3. Draw 1, trash 1. KO Enel. So I guess we still had 4 extra Dawn. I don't know, this matchup is very complicated, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. So we just used the Lucci effect for no reason to add more cards to the life. That's not horrible. We're gonna have to counter out of this and give no cards, so now they can remove whatever they want. So they can go 9 into Jack, and then they can swing whatever they want into whatever they want. They could 10-drop ace and go rush into a character. They could just gain a life, because that's gonna make them in a safer position. This is all a resource game, and I think we're losing. They could 10-drop Enel again. It just has rush. They don't gain a life, but it has rush. Draw 1, trash 1, useless Captain Kid. Drop a Katakuri. So what, 7, 7, 1, 2, 3, that's 4, 7, 9. We're gonna go 15 into Enel. I don't think we need to add anything else to trash at this point. It's gonna force at least 1 card out of hand. End up being a 2k. Do we blast the Enel out? I think so. 16. I think that's the safest play here.
LWT, I'll see you tonight.
Bye. All right, we got rid of Enel there. That makes sense, okay. We'll pass it back to our opponent and go on from there, because we're playing top decks here. And I think us at least having one card puts us in a better position, but us not having a body on the board at all puts us in a worse position. And if they play another 10-drop Enel here, I'm going to be pissed. They go ace, they have rush, they swing in for 10. That's fine with us, not too much we can do. If we had just some kind of cost minus, this would be so valuable. Could go Sabo, could go Hina Sabo, then we just lose. Well, then we have a blocker, but then we are forced to block, and then we don't have a way to go for lethal. I think we just lose in this position. Yeah, I think we just lose. Draw 2. Yeah, there's nothing. We'll try just in case. I think we literally just lose though, because we can't counter out of anything. The only way we don't lose is if we can Uta next turn, give -2, swing in, give -1, play Kuzan, pop both, and then still stay alive somehow without having to apply more pressure. But I think we didn't find enough KO early, or enough maybe cost minus late. I can't really figure it out. This is just a really hard matchup. They play damn punk. They get to pop the Uta, I guess. We should have Uta'd first, but we didn't have the Uta in hand, so we couldn't have Uta'd first. But we need to find our option. So I don't really know what they're gonna do here. They pop the Uta. I guess that's really good. They should just go for game. It's guaranteed lethal. You just go 7, 7. Yeah, it's guaranteed lethal, because now you just go 9, 10. Well, 12 isn't correct technically, but it still works out the same. GG's to our opponent, man. That was a tough matchup. That was a very interesting matchup too. I don't think it's too favored into Lucci. Like, I don't think it's favored into Lucci. I think it's just tough both sides. So, but you only see Enel because everybody loves Enel, not because it's a good deck. It did beat us though. Again, we're gonna take on another tough matchup because I don't want to give you guys just all of our best matchups. We're gonna choose to go second here. This is a little greedy. If I keep this, I'm not gonna lie to you, I think we're gonna mulligan. Because we find the Uta, and that's what we were looking for. So we get our Uta, we get our Laboon, we have a Rebecca and Brooke. I think this is an amazing hand. Holy gal. Holy gal, my man. We're going to keep this for show. For show, for show. They could play it on... No, they can't. They're only on 3 Dawn, so I guess we're not too worried. Alright, so they played on another Uta. They grabbed Shanks from the first one and from the second one, just to give you guys information here. Not to cheat. They get Lucky Roo. Lucky Roo's going to be very strong this next turn. They swing in for 7. It's very good. We go ahead and take that. Not too worried about it. We could play down Laboon or Kuzan. I think we're going to go Kuzan, actually, to draw a card. So let's swing in for 5 at our opponent. That doesn't do anything, but we get to fill up our trash and give -1 here. The goal is to fill up the trash. They use their leader effect, just stop Lucci's attack. Doesn't do anything for us, but at least now we have the Kuzan on the board. And then put a Rob Lucci in the trash. Okay, that's fine. We need a way to KO these characters here without putting anything sideways, which we can do on this next turn, because we don't want... Lucky Roo just KOs a character with 6,000 power or less. They swing in for 6 at us. We don't have a 2k counter, so we're going to take. We get a Sabo. Ooh, if we had more Dawn. Man, if we would have gone Brooke first, no, that still wouldn't... Oh, yeah, it would 5, and then -2. So we can easily KO their Lucky Roo when we want to. Maybe that's what we do. We tap 2, tap 4. We see what Lucky Roo wants to KO first. So let's go ahead and swing... I don't want this Kuzan to die. I think Sabo, waiting for Sabo next turn would be stronger. So what we'll do here is... We can't even think. Our opponent won't let us think. They just quit. That shows you Shanks players. They don't even let you think to, you know, learn. All right, we're going to play Shanks here to show you that we're not just playing matchups we are very favored in. They choose to go second, of course. We're going first. We do at least get Brooke on curb into Laboon, then remove something. But if they have something else, it'd be bad. But I don't think we can be too greedy. Yes, we can. Watch me. Boom. Not greedy. We could go in Tempest Kick to filter the hand to find more options for later. We can go Brooke and go Uta next turn. I think we'll just pass here. I think we're going to go Uta. We're going to swing in for 6, so we at least put a little pressure. We're not really worried about KOing this Uta, so we don't need to Brooke so early. We find a Khalifa, so we're going to swing in for 6 at our opponent. Just to go and get that leader effect so that we can, you know, burn cards and have options later. We'll go ahead and play Uta. That gives -2 cost and can't be KO'd by a leader effect or by a leader battle. We'll take the 5, get more cards in hand to have resources. They tap 4 for Lucky Roo. We need a Sabo here to not have our character be KO'd, but I guess there's not too much we can do in this situation. The character is definitely going to be KO'd, so we can go -2. I think they're going to KO the Uta here. We'll see. We'll swing in for 6 at our opponent. Yeah, we're going to go and swing in for 6, use card action, -1 on Lucky Roo. We're going to lose a character here for sure. We're going to go and play down Lucci, because I'm okay losing Lucci, I think. I'd rather keep Brooke in this matchup specifically. And we have an Uta to replace it. So use card action. We're going to put a Tempest Kick and a Jack on the bottom and a Mancherie on the bottom and KO both the characters. On KO, they get to trash our Lucci, but that means our Uta stays, so we have a continuous -2. That's why I played Lucci. I don't want our Uta to go away. They swing 9 to us. We're going to go ahead and take that. No trigger, but we're kind of okay with that situation. We could go ahead and play down Jack. We could get more cost minus on the board. I think Jack's definitely a good option. They're going into 8 Dawn. They could play Rayleigh. Rayleigh won't really do anything. They could play Dragon, which Dragon doesn't do too much. I think we're going to go Jack here, just to have it on the board. I'm not worried too much about pressuring your life right now. We will go ahead and use the effect to draw one and then trash one. We're going to trash the Tempest Kick for now. Choose no targets and pass. We don't really... I guess we could have swung in just to give the minus or put 2 cards in trash. It definitely may matter later, but it doesn't matter right now. They give -4 here. We'll go ahead and give them a 2k out of hand, and we need to find a way to remove this body off the board now. Do we have a Hina in trash? We do not. We're gonna go and swing in for... We only have to give it -5. So I guess we're gonna swing in for... Let's math this out. 3, 2, that's -3. 1 with leader, so we need -1 more. So 3 2's 5, 4 for Rebecca. So I guess we go and swing in for 5, leader effect, -1, put more cards in trash. They go and use their leader effect here. We get a Kuzan, nothing else. So I guess we can go 2 for Uta, -2. We go 3 for Brooke, -1. And then Rebecca into Brooke. Play out Brooke, -1 more. Rest down Jack. Draw 1, trash the Kuzan, KO the Rayleigh, and pass. I think that was the best possible turn. We spammed out the board. We have minus on the board. We have -4 on the board. They have 10 for a 10-drop Shanks here. So I think we just have to let this go. We already have a Brook on the board. They play 10. Oh, they play that 10-drop Shanks. And that's a little different here. I'm not going to lie to you guys. We only have -3, -3, -2, -2, -1, -1. We don't have enough. Well, we could with Lucci, so 9 total Dawn. I guess we could do that with Lucci. Just swing in, give -1, we'll put another Lucci in the trash. We do get a Hina in the trash, which is not bad. And then we're going to -3. We have Sabo now. We'll -2. That makes it 6. Khalifa, draw 2, trash 2. I think we'll keep the 10-drop Kuzan for later. I think we'll drop Sabo and a Khalifa. Then give -2. Then we tap 4 for Lucci. And then we'll return a 10-drop Kuzan, a Tempest Kick, and KO the Shanks. We have 1 additional Dawn, so we could swing in for 5 here, which we will. We could have gone 6 with leader and kept this forwards, but we didn't do that correct. Because we have to do these things in very specific motions, so we definitely need to... We'll block. If they want to drop a 10-drop and swing it into Brooke, that's fine. They go -3, -2, and pop Brooke. Oh, they pop Uta here. Interesting, interesting. Well, there's not really a way without the Uta to KO the Rayleigh here with what our hand is. But I don't think having 10-drop Kuzan would be bad, because we only have -2, so we can only get it to 7, or to 1 cost. This KO's a 0 cost. But I think just having this on the board is going to be good. So I guess we have enough cards in life or in deck. So we'll swing in for... Oh, we won't swing it at all. They have 2 active Dawn. We're just going to play out 10-drop Kuzan and pass. I think that's going to be the best option there. Because if we do anything else, I mean, they just get the KO our board. They make this -1000 power. They're building snakes, so they're really removing this Kuzan. Man, they have more removal than us. This is a really tough matchup, though, altogether. They give -3, -2, pop the Kuzan, 1 active, swing in for 6 here. They're going to be able to swing in for 6 and 8, so I think we're going to have to counter out of one of these attacks here, which will be with the Khalifa here. And then 8, we're going to have to take. We get Rebecca. So we have the Whale. The Whale is going to be very good here. So we can go -4, -3. Yeah, that's perfect. And then we can Rebecca. Tap 4, rest this down, minus the Rayleigh. Tempest Kick, replace itself, -3. We're going to swing in for 6, use a card action, -1 more. I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point. We don't have a Spandine in trash yet, though. That's the only issue. We're going to tap 4 for Rebecca. I guess it doesn't really matter which way we do it, because either way we're playing on Rebecca here. So we're going to pop the character. We don't have a way to pop both characters. Now we're going to play out that, or we can just return counter to hand. Actually, returning counter to hand is probably the best. We don't need any more bodies on the board. And pass. So at least we're controlling the board as much as we can. They give -1000 power. They put in 10-drop Shanks. So they're going to be able to KO both of our characters here. So we're going to have to let this go. They're going to swing in. We're going to have to let that go. They're going to swing in 12 at us. We're going to have to take that, aren't we? We're going to have to take that. We finally find a Spandine. So Spandine plays Lucci. We don't have much cost minus. So we need to Rebecca, return Brooke. No, return Rebecca, return the Whale. But that doesn't help us because that's only -4. There's no better minus options in hand. Rebecca Whale. We can Lucci. We can get rid of Rayleigh if we Rebecca Whale. No, because we would need a Whale first. Do we have Hina? We do have Hina, so that's -4. So Rebecca, Hina, Rebecca, turn Hina, play Hina, -4, swing in for 6, go -1. Now it's a 3 cost. Damn, it's still a 3 cost. That's so annoying. I think we just need to go added pressure. I think legit that's the only way we can do this. I did this incorrect because it should have been 6-7, but whatever. And then we'll pass. I think that's the only way. I think we have to really just put pressure on. We're gonna give them the 1K Spandine. Go ahead and counter in case they have a 10-drop rush. Block, and then we're gonna have to block this 10-drop rush. Yep, block. So now we just split. So what's the split here? So 2 on leader 7, so 3 on Lucci 7, 2 on leader 7, and 4 on Hina 7. So they just can't have 1 2K, and we have 1 additional Dawn after that. Damn. Yep, so they can get out of that. 3, 3. Yeah, there's no way, right? Because 5, 3, 3, so 5. It'd have to be 5, 5, 6. Yeah, they can get out of it. GG's. Oh, I guess it was 5. I guess it could have been 5, 6, 6. Damn. We just lost. Yeah, they had the counter anyway, so GG's to our opponent, man. That was a tough one. Shanks is a difficult matchup. It's like 50-50, a little more Shanks' favor. It's like probably like 40-60 actually, but hey, you can see those are the tough matchups. I hope you enjoyed this Lucci day. I hope you could see that if you're going against green purple and it's a big thing at your metas, this is an amazing deck. If you have like Vegapunks and stuff like that, it can still do well in those matchups. It is a little difficult. And then into Shanks and a few others, as you saw, they are very difficult matchups. So it all depends on your locals. Our local scene is a lot of off-meta players who like to have fun, and so the Luccis kind of run rampant and they win all the time. But I think this was a very fun meta and a very good meta that we're in right now. I enjoyed playing Lucci a lot more than I did when Gecko Moria was around. This is a lot more competitive and feels a lot more like you have options other than just find Gecko, play Gecko, do the same thing every single time. This actually felt a little more skill intensive, and I enjoyed that. So anyways, as always, this was another video, a Lucci video, the dark side video. And we'll have many more videos this week. I am going out of town, so I will do as much content as I can within the next coming days to have it all scheduled and ready for you guys. I love you as always. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, push the algorithm for me, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.